Shripada Rajam Sharanam Prapadde. Shripada Shreevallabh Charitra Amrutam. Chapter 5. Arrival of Shankar Bhatt at Tirupati. Visits Tirumala Das at Kanipakam. The result of Parayan of chapter 5 is to be freed from the fault of non fulfillment of the vows made to deities, to remove obstacles, the prevention of harassment of Saturn by the mercy of Shreepada. In my itinerary, I reached the sacred Tirupati Mahakshetra. I felt some inexplicable peace of mind. I took bath in the Pushkarni of Tirumala. I had darshan of Sri Venkateshwara and went into meditation in the temple premises. In meditation, I found Sri Venkateshwara as a female. That icon, which appeared as Bala Tripuri Sundari, changed into the form of Parmeshwara within seconds. After some time, it changed as Mahavishnu. After meditation for some more time, that statue appeared like a handsome young yogi of 16 years. The looks of the child Yati are full of nectar. Affectionate love of 1,000 mothers was emanating from his two eyes. In the meantime, a black, ugly one approached the young sage. That ugly person said to the young yati, Lord Shripada Shrivallabha, you are a master of the universe. From today, the period of 7.5 years, Saturn period, is beginning to your devotee Shankara Bhatt. I will put him to all troubles that are possible in this world. I am standing for the orders of the Lord. The compassionate Lord said, Shaneshwara, you are the cause for destiny. You make the people experience the consequences of their deeds and release them from the bonds of karma. You carry on your duty. As I have a vow to protect Asrita Bhaktajana, you see in which way I protect and release Shankara Bhatt from the troubles you inflict on him. After this conversation of Shripada and Shaneshwara, both disappeared from my meditation. It became difficult to meditate upon the idol of God afterwards. I understood that difficult times were ahead and that Shripada would rescue me from troubles. I came to Tirupati from Tirumala. In the streets of Tirupati, I was wandering as I liked. Mind was wavering. One barber forcibly stopped me and said, You are not Subaya who absconded from the house 20 years ago? Your parents became worried. Your wife attained puberty. She came of age. Therefore, you accept her and live happily with children. The barber thundered in his demanding speech. Then I explained, Sir, I am a Brahmin from Karnataka named Shankara Bhatt. I am a traveler visiting holy places. I am a devotee of Datta, having heard that Lord Datta incarnate as Shripad Shrivallabha. I am going to Kurguda. I swear on holy Gayatri, I am a bachelor. I am not at all the barber Subaya as you presume. He did not pay any heed to my words. Many people gathered there. All of them were abusing me. Each one was abusing me in his own way. They took me to the house of Subaya. The parents of Subaya regarded me as their own son and requested me in many ways. They were telling me moral principles that I should not desert them and that it is a heinous crime to abandon a wife who attained maturity. One of them pointed out that Subaya became nasty with grown beard and mustache and suggested that a clean shave would restore his normal personality. They did not listen to me even though I was remonstrating. Fortunately, they shaved my head. My beard and my mustache were removed. They also removed the sacred thread from my shoulders. They summoned a sorcerer known to them to treat me. That person wore strange costumes. His dreadful looks pierced my heart and caused intense pain. They bound me hand and foot and made wounds on my scalp with a knife. They applied lemon juice and other juices to those wounds. I was suffering unbearable pain. They decided that a Brahmin devil possessed Subbiya. After he left home, and for that reason, Subbiya wore a sacred thread and started chanting mantras. The Brahmin community in Tirupati also kept mum. They thought that the traveler in the town was Subbiya and that a Brahmin ghost took possession of him. When I was taken to the Brahmin elders in the town, I told them that I was from Karnataka, a Samartha Brahmin belonging to the lineage of Bharatvaja, and that I knew Namak Chamak Mandiras and that I perform Sandhya Vedna daily. Those Brahmin elders did not believe me. They said that a Kannada Brahmin devil caught me and that with correct treatment I should be made a normal person. I fainted from the pain caused by the wounds. My lamentation became a cry in wilderness. When I came back to my senses, I understood that an ugly person with black aura resembling me sat opposite me. He did not speak anything with me, but simply merged in me. He became one with me. It occurred to me that due to the influence of Saturn, my fate turned topsy turvy, and that 7.5 years period would be an extraordinary difficult time for me, and that only Shripad Shrivallabh can save me. Even in that anguish, I was mentally chanting the name of Shripad Shrivallabha. As I was chanting the name of Sri Charan, my pain was diminishing. The sorcerer sacrificed chicken and goats and was conducting strange and weird rituals. I was given a regulated diet. The sorcerer decided that vegetarian food should be served to me as a Brahmin devil possessed me. I was worried that meat also might forcibly be fed to me, but on account of the mercy of Shripada, I was given vegetarian food. This brought some consolation to my mind. For 3 days, I underwent a hellish agony. Even in that state, I did not stop remembering the name of Shripada. So the pain abated from the fourth day. Cure experiments were conducted on my body. The witch doctor was dealing whiplashes also on my body. I writhed with pain and cried, Shrivallabha, Sharanyu, Sharanyu. How can hellish troubles torment devotees who serve Lord Datta with undivided devotion? In the meantime, a miracle took place. I did not get at least a little pain, even though the blows of whip fell on my body. On the other hand, the witch doctor writhed with pain. He did not understand why he was getting the pain of the blows when he was whipping me. He was looking at me with cured looks. I noticed the divine play of Shripada and laughed. Even though I was eating sick diet, it was very delicious. I was eating meals to my heart's content. I was eating the food with the idea that it was the prasad of Sripada. In spite of the fact that the sorcerer was eating chicken and goats liked by him, it was turning into poisonous food. His health was deteriorating. He stopped harassing me and spent his time merely with mantras and rituals. His house was burned on the fifth day. He commenced a treatment to me. Even though no fire was ignited in the sorcerer's house on that day, fire broke out suddenly in the presence of all and it was reduced to ashes. On the sixth day, the sorcerer came to the house of Subbiya with a pale face. He said that a Brahmin ghost who was a witch took hold of Subbiya and that the devil burned his house with witchcraft because he started treatment. Many rituals were to be conducted to win over many evil forces like Bhetala, and for that purpose, a large amount of money was required. I knew that no use was there for the treatment and that the witch doctor was making all suggestions for the greed of money. It came to my mind that nothing would be more unfortunate and treacherous than to accept the wife of Subaya as my own, succumbing to the course of cruel fate. I could not understand why fate was playing so mercilessly with me. I felt as if my heart was cut open with a hacksaw. I told the parents of Subbaya, my dear parents, don't fall into the magic trap of the sorcerer and sell away all your movable and immovable properties. I am considering you both as my mother and father. With that, I was freed from the sorcerer. The parents of Subbaya were happy. My eyes also became wet on seeing the happiness shining in their eyes. I prayed mentally to Sreepada humbly to save me from a moral downfall, as the wife of another man is to be considered as a mother. So I prayed to Shripada to save me from the impending danger. On the seventh day, when my medical treatment commenced, I said to the wife of Subaya, who was attending upon me, "What are you thinking about me? Are you believing that I am Subaya really?" For that, she said, "Marriage took place when I was 2 years old. Now I am 22 years old. No one except God knows whether you are my husband or not. Any male who enters fresh youth cannot remain steady when he sees his wife. Though you are undergoing all these troubles, you did not regard me as your wife. You did not even touch me. This is possible only for those who have sublime culture. I don't have any opinion about you. I want to lead a virtuous life according to the traditions of the family. If you are my husband, don't leave this humble servant of yours. On the other hand, as my husband fled from the house 20 years back, and as my marriage took place when I was quite ignorant, you can accept me as your wife. I walk in your footsteps. Who is Shrivallabh about whom you always think? If he is a Sadguru, I will also pray to him to show an ethical solution to this naughty problem. Her argument about it was proper. Then I said, Shripad Shrivallabha is actually Lord Dattatreya. He incarnated in this Kali Yuga. Now he is in Kurvapuram. He behaves according to the idea about him. If we consider him as Sadguru, he grants us experience as a Sadguru. If we consider him as Paramatma, he will prove himself as Paramatma. Good. You also chant the name of Shrivallabha. Your duty surely will be known to you. A solution acceptable to all becomes available. On that day, a Pariya Jangam, Shavite worshipper, came there. There were many books of palm leaves with him. He became a venerable person to all the residents of that locality in a short time. He was telling past, present, and future events to all those who met him. He was telling that all those palm leaf books were Nadi books, and it was called Ramala Science, and all the predictions from those books would take place exactly as foretold. On their request, he came to the house of Subaya's parents. He gave some seashells to me and asked me to cast the shells on the ground. He made some calculations and took a leaf from the palm leaf books and read out as the questionnaire is a Kannada Brahmin by name Shankara Bhatt. He will write the life history of Shripada Shrivallabha. In his previous birth, he and another person were born in Mogalicharala village situated near to Kundukuru town. Both of them became very much interested in gambling. There was a famous self-manifested Datta temple in that village. He was born as a brother of the temple priest. In the absence of his brother, he was conducting temple worship and other rituals. He was indulging in gambling with his friends in the temple premises. That is a highly objectionable matter. One day he played the gambling game with his friend under peculiar stipulations. If his friend were to win, this man had to give him the amount of money stipulated. If this person were to win, the friend had to hand over his wife to the gentleman. Lord Datta was the witness to this deal. They solemnly swore to that effect and gambled. Lord Datta was observing that this highly reprehensible thing was taking place in his very presence. Shankar Bhatt won in the game, gamble. The friend refused to hand over his wife to Shankar Bhatt. The dispute was referred to elders. The elders of the caste assembled. They resolved that it was an unpardonable offense that such a misdeed took place in the very sacred presence of Lord Datta. They also resolved that hot boiled oil should be poured on the head of Shankara Bhatt, who was enamored with the wife of another person and who wanted to enjoy her in a crooked way. They slashed to render him important, and that both of them should be expelled from the village after execution of the decree. The resolution was duly executed. As Shankara Bhatt performed service to Datta for a short while, he was born in this birth as a person with some devotion to God. His friend would take birth in a barber's house in the holy town of Tirupati with the name of Subbayya. With mental instability, he becomes mad and runs away after marriage. The wife of Subbayya was innocent, as no offense was committed by her. The leniency of Subbayya decreases on account of the efficacy of her matrimonial fidelity, and Subbayya returns to this place on the next day after this Ramala science is heard. Shankara would get released on that day. On account of the grace of Sreepada Shreevallabh, the 7.5 years duration of Saturn due to Harris Shankara Bhatt would elapse in 7.5 days by making him suffer such above mentioned troubles. Those who swear in the name of God and make false and unrighteous declarations are severely punished by Lord Datta. For the mental instability or Subbaya, some portion of the Punyo Shankara Bhatt was transferred to the credit of Subbaya by Chitragupta. People should understand the fact that the influence of karma works in the most subtle way. Therefore, they should perform good deeds and refrain from doing bad deeds. The horoscope of Srivallabha reaches Pitikapuram through Akshay Kumar, a follower of Jain religion residing in Tripura province. This will happen some centuries after the incarnation of Sripada was conceived. Before that, a book with the title Shripada Srivallabha Charitra Amritam, describing the divine sportive plays of Shripada, comes to light. How can I describe the mercy of Shripada Srivallabha? The next day, Subbayya came to his house. His lunacy was completely cured. I treated Subbayya's wife as my sister. I took leave from the parents of Subbayya and reached Kanipaka village in the Chittur region.